All right, good afternoon, everyone. Let's get started with our afternoon criminal docket. If I have anyone with quick announcements other than pleas, other than a plea, if you have an announcement, I'll take that at this time. We'll start with Ms. Flores.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Laura Perez. She should be on the screen already.
40 and 41. All right, that's CR 21-00430H, as well as CR 21-00429H. Laura Isabel Flores. This is a PD placement. Is that are we scheduled for that or not ready?
Your Honor, no, she's been approved for PTD. I went into the office, to the DA's office last Thursday to follow up on a reconsideration for a possible bust down. They still have not gotten back to me, so I'm waiting just to hear back. I asked for reconsideration as soon as we got that first recommendation for PTD, followed up last week, and I want to say probably within the next 2 weeks they should have an answer.
All right. How about I give you like mid-April, if that's okay, in the afternoon? Is that all right?
Your Honor, as long as it's not the week, if possible, as long as it's not the week of the 11th through the 14th.
Okay, I could do the 7th or the 19th.
The 7th is fine, Your Honor.
All right, April 7th at 2 o'clock.
And that's all I have.
All right, April 7th, 2 o'clock, Ms. Perez. Stay in contact with Ms. Flores. And we'll see you on April 7th at 2 p.m.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, you may. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, to Mr. Sepulveda. You're on mute.
About that. Can you hear me, Judge?
Yes, sir. I can hear you now.
Good afternoon, Judge. Judge, I'm here on Bran Torres at CR 18-01843-H. That's an MTR, Judge. Judge, I received an offer from the state. It's a time served case, Judge. I did work out his felony yesterday, Judge, from a second degree to a Class A misdemeanor, time served also, Judge. He has spent 246 days in jail, Judge. So my request is, can I get a plea date, Judge, and we consider a PR bond on this individual?
So I'm sorry, he's already on probation?
No, Judge, a time served case. It was a felony. I got it down to Class A, time served 246 days, Judge.
Okay.
And that was in Judge Geno's court, Judge.
Okay.
And now we've got this case here, Judge. It's an old case. It's an 18 case, Judge. A motion to revoke, Judge. It's a time served case also, Judge. And I just got that offer this afternoon, Judge, or rather this morning, Judge. And my client's been sitting in jail for 246 days. I complete him out, Judge, next week or the following, but we consider a PR bond, Judge, in the meantime for him.
What says the state about a PR bond, given the number of days?
No, I don't have an issue. It is a time served case. I don't know if a PR bond is allowable though in this case. I'm not really familiar with. I know that there's the governor's orders that have that issue. I'm not sure if he can. Maybe it can be a low cash bond. I'm not real sure on that.
Or I can bring it back on Thursday.
Judge, we have a problem, Judge. I've got a school board meeting on Wednesday, Judge, and I'm not going to have time to go out and sign him up, Judge, this week. Right, Veronica? She's on it also, Judge.
If I give him $100 cash bond, would he be able to make that?
I'm sure he will, Judge.
All right, let me do $100 cash bond and reset this case for next Tuesday in case he doesn't make it.
Okay, good.
Next Tuesday is what?
Judge, can we do it on Thursday, Judge?
The 31st?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's 3/31 at 2 o'clock. And we'll work on the cash bond. It'll be reflecting a $100 cash bond.
Thanks. Vito, can you send me the paperwork, please?
I sure will.
Thank you. Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Mr. Reyes.
Good afternoon, Judge. I have number 18 on the court's docket, Eduardo Oviedo.
Number 18, give me 1 second. I'll be right there. CR 21-06-510H, Eduardo Ovidio. He's in custody. Your announcement, Mr. Reyes?
Respectfully, Your Honor, asking for 30 to 45 days. He's got a felony pending, and we're waiting on medical records from the state of Minnesota.
All right, can I give you April 21st? That's 30 days out, 2 o'clock.
That'll work, Judge.
All right, April 21st, 2022 at 2 o'clock.
Thanks, Judge. That's all I have. Maybe excuse Your Honor.
You're excused. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Concha, what do you have?
Yes, Your Honor, it's number 16 on the court's docket.
CR 21-054-54H, Edwin Orozco.
Yes, Your Honor, we just received a new rec on this case. I had needed to speak to my client about it. However, he's indicated that he would prefer a time rec and we would have to plead to the court. I don't know if the court would like to give us a staffing date where we can discuss it, or if the court would let us know if, it would be willing to offer him a time rec instead of probation on this case.
What kind of priors do we have? Do we have any priors?
That I'm not sure of, Your Honor.
You can check real quick, Your Honor.
Edwin Orozco. He's got, what does he have today? He's got the assault.
Your Honor, he just has these 2 charges, but they have been pending for a while. I think he's nice side multiple times on both, but these are his only 2 charges though he has.
So how many days does he have in custody?
He doesn't have a lot. For the assault, he has 27 days.
Assault, 27 days.
The possession we were going to dismiss with a plea to the assault, and I would actually even time serve the possession. I mean, if that's the case, whatever. But
Okay, I mean, I'm okay with the dismissal of the POM, and I can bring him back as early as Thursday if you want to plead it to the court, Rudy, or next Tuesday, but it's either Thursday or Tuesday.
Either one's fine, Judge. I mean, obviously he's in custody, but I believe his request would be for time, not probation.
Right. No, and I'm willing to give him 29 days. Credit for
Okay.
29 days. If you
then-
bring it back on Thursday, but if you can't do that and you need to bring it back on Tuesday, then I'll.
No,
do that.
I can bring him back on Thursday, Your Honor. That's not a problem. As long as I get the plea paperwork, I can sign him up and then we can.
Yeah, I mean, this disposes of another jail case and we'll try our best to help the sheriff out. So let me bring him back on the 24th, 3/24 at 2 o'clock. And let's take care of it that way.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Orozco, stay in contact and you'll be hearing from Mr. Concha to sign some paperwork, okay?
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you,
All
Your
right.
Honor. Maybe excused.
You're excused. Hitesh, what do you have?
Good afternoon, Judge. I have 35 and 36 on your docket, Your Honor. Juan Ignacio Martinez.
35, 36, Juan Ignacio Martinez. I don't know if Mr. Martinez is present.
I don't think he's present, Your Honor. Last time we were here, I did ask the court for a continuance for the same reason. We already have a recommendation from the state. It's a 60-day PTD rec, I believe, pretty simple rec, but I haven't been able to get a hold of him. He's told me he's out working. I haven't heard from him in several months, Judge. So I would just ask the court to call him, and if he's not present, then we proceed as necessary, Your Honor.
All right, is Juan Ignacio Martinez present? If you're on mute, please unmute yourself. Juan Ignacio Martinez. Juan Ignacio Martinez. All right, the continuance was granted back in February 15th. What says the state?
they request that a judgment in eyesight be granted, a KPS issued, and all bonds forfeited for this no-show defendant.
Judgment in eyesight will be granted, KPS issued, bond forfeited to the state for the arrest of Juan Ignacio Martinez. Hitesh, if you hear from him, bring him in Tuesday, Thursday, morning or afternoon. We'll take care of it for you.
I'll contact you guys, Judge. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it, Judge. Thank you.
All right, Veronica Sepulveda.
Good morning, or good afternoon, Your Honor. I have number 25 on the court's docket. Abraham Ibanez, CR 22025006H.
Abraham Ibanez. Yes.
Your Honor,
Your announcement?
I have been speaking with the state. We agreed on a PR bond with the condition that he stay away from the victim's residence. And I believe that agreed order has been filed with the court.
Okay, so a $2,500, we'll do a $2,500 PR bond with no did you say no harmful contact with the victim?
No contact with the victim's residence. It's a criminal trespass.
What I'll do, Ms. Martinez, is I'm going to do a $2,500 PR bond. And then in the notes, I'm going to put no contact with the victim or victim's residence.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything else? We need a reset date. What do you think? 30 days down the road if we're doing a PR bond?
Yes, that's fine, Your Honor.
Okay, let me go ahead and do the 21st of April. April 21st, 2022 at, you want me to do it in the morning or in the afternoon?
Whatever's best for the court, Your Honor.
Yeah, 9:30. We'll do the morning.
Okay.
Okay, does your client speak English?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let me just make sure that he understood. Mr. Abraham Ibanez, did you understand what the court is doing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and reset your case for April 21st at 9:30. I'm granting you a PR bond. You are to have no contact with the victim or the victim's residence in this case, and stay in contact with Ms. Martinez so that you all can be in communication with each other so she can help you resolve your criminal case, okay?
Thank you.
We'll see you on the 21st at 9:30.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Anyone else, anything else, Ms. Martinez, before
That's all, Your Honor. May I be excused?
you're excused? Thank you. All right, anyone else with an announcement other than a plea? I'm taking announcements other than pleas, and if there's no other announcements other than pleas, I will go ahead and take up pleas at this time. All right.
Your Honor.
Yes, Ms. Guerra.
I'm sorry, I was late in getting to the jail. I did get my client to sign for a plea for Jose Valadez. I was just making sure that Mr. Chavana received that plea paperwork and that it was going to be filed, because I did email it to him already signed by me and my client.
Yes, ma'am, I just received it. I'll e-file it as soon as we finish the docket. I do have it though. It is complete and he's ready for a plea.
Okay, Jose Valadez, if I can have him brought up. Jose Valadez will be a plea, and it looks like it's going to be a time served.
Yes, it's 2 cases, Your Honor.
2 cases. We're still going to dismiss one of them. Is that correct? Dismiss the revo and
That's correct, Your Honor. The revocations are already, I think, expired at this point. So we're gonna dismiss revocation and close out the probation term on that.
The, part of the felony, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to, part of the felony was the dismissal of the 2 of some of the misdemeanor cases, but I can't remember if it was these or not. But anyhow, we're ready to proceed.
Yeah, I checked the judgment, Ms. Guerra. I didn't see any notation. So without any kind of, I guess, reference from the felony prosecutors, and the best I could do right now is time served.
Your Honor, could you call the case in a little bit? I need to call the prosecutor in the case just to verify that. I don't want to do something that is gonna mess up.
okay, sure.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes. Okay, now I actually have for this one, Vito, I have there's 3 cases. And
That's right, Your Honor.
your recommendation is to plead to the POM and the failure to ID, but dismiss the POCS. Is that correct? Or
Give me 1 second, Your Honor. What numbers are they in the docket? I can't find it right now.
I'm looking at number 20, 21, and 22 for Ms. Guerra.
Thank you. That's correct. So number 20 and number 22 are brand new cases. They are open and pending cases. They happen after the, I think both of them are part of the basis for the felony motion to adjudicate, which is why I wanted to basically get those 2 as I guess, a plea. The other case is a motion to revoke, it's an older motion to revoke. And on that one, our recommendation is dismiss revocation and just close out the probation term on that case.
Gotcha. All right, Mr. McPherson, who do you have?
Judge, I have number 13 on the docket, Miguel Angel Sanchez Garcia. It's a plea to time served.
Miguel Angel Sanchez Garcia. That'll be a plea. Perfect. We'll be right, we'll call that one up. You can just stand right there, Mr. Garcia. Stand right there. Don't move. You speak English?
Your Honor.
You speak English, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Garcia. I'll be right with you. I'm just going to take a couple more announcements and then I'll be right with you. Stand right there. Don't move, okay? Mr. McPherson, do you have anyone else?
That's it, Judge.
Let's move over to Mr. Fuente. Who do you have for a plea?
Number 7 and number 8, Your Honor.
Number 7 and number 8. Javier Cruz. Okay. Okay, so on this one, he's got 3 cases, Mr. Puente. I believe Mr. Prado represents him on CR 21-11-159H. Let me ask Mr. Cruz. Mr. Cruz, did you happen to sign some paperwork just today with Mr. Prado?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Vito, are you okay with us proceeding on all 3? And apparently that's going to get filed here shortly.
I just received it, Your Honor, and I will e-file it after docket.
Okay, perfect. So then we're going to go ahead and take care of these 3 cases. Now, what is the CR 21-11-159H? What is the offense for that? So I could POM Cosby. And Mr. Puente, will you stand in for, I guess?
Frank Prado? Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So that takes care of that one. Now, that one is going to be a plea on all 3 cases, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Ms. De Luna, who do you have?
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Angel Ramos. I think it's Angel. I don't know how to pronounce his middle name. Jafet, I believe, Ramos. It's CR 21-01-584-H. It is going to be a PTD POM plea. However, Your Honor, I did send that paperwork earlier today to Mr. Eller. I don't know if it's made its way to the appropriate parties at this point.
We have received it and we filed it. That's correct.
All right, so we're ready to go. Is he present, Mr. Angel Ramos?
He should be, Your Honor. He has the login information and assured me he'd be on. I don't.
Yeah, Angel Ramos, if you're on mute, please unmute yourself. Angel Ramos, so I can hear you. Angel Ramos.
Judge, I'll go ahead and message him to make sure he does sign on. I don't see him on, but I don't know if I have all the screens in front of me. So I'll go ahead and message him, Your Honor. He should be logging on.
Yeah, if he doesn't log on here before I get started, Ms. Luna, what I'll do is I'll just reset him for Thursday, okay?
Okay, let me get him on though, Judge.
Okay, thanks. Ms. Arispe, were you able to confirm your question? Did you have a client?
Judge, my client should be on. She's in county jail. Erica Alanis.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mistook you for Ms. Guerra. I'm sorry. You're Miss. I'm sorry. 42?
It's showing as number 1 on your docket, Judge.
Okay, 1 and 2. Erica Alanis. All right. And are we going to be proceeding on both cases?
Judge, she's already pled to a felony. Part of the agreement on the felony is that she's going to plead to 20-08-7388 and 21-12-9088 will be dismissed.
So dismissed. So plea to 1 and dismiss 2.
That's correct, Judge.
Number 2. Yeah.
Your Honor, we have not received the paperwork on that case, though, number 1.
I did email it. I can email it again.
Okay. What did you send it, Ms. Arispe?
Who did you send it to, Ms. Arispe?
It's showing, Judge, being emailed to Mr. Heller, Judge, but I'll redo it.
Yes, if you don't mind, please.
I will, Judge.
All right.
Well, what day did you send it? I'm not seeing it in my inbox.
Okay. Let me ask my staff because my staff's the one that does those.
Yeah, if you could just go ahead and do that right now, Ms. Arispe. All right, Mr. Garcia, who do you have?
You didn't email it to Heller?
Good afternoon, Judge. I have number 26 on your criminal docket. in the jail docket.
Luis Gabriel Zamora.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
He signed
That's-
up and ready to go, Your Honor.
All right, that'll be a plea as well. Perfect. Luis Gabriel Zamora. All right, Mr. Zamora, stand right there and I'll be right with you, okay? Get in line with the others. Don't sit down. I'll be right with you. All right, Ms. Galvan, who do you have?
Sorry, I have number 34 in the court's docket, State of Texas versus Jesus Lopez, CR 21093938H.
All right, number 34, Jesus Riojas Lopez. And he is not in custody, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. I did see him on the video a little while ago.
All right, Jesus Lopez. I do see Jesus Lopez. Mr. Lopez, can I see your camera on?
Yes, sir. Let me just get a better lighting. I'm so sorry. Hello, sir.
Okay, perfect. Mr. Lopez, I just want to make sure that your microphone is working. I see that it is. Please remain on mute, and whenever you hear your case called, just be ready to unmute yourself, okay?
All righty, sir.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Noel Gonzalez.
Good afternoon, Judge. I have number 15 on the court's criminal docket. He's signed up, ready for a plea, English speaker.
Number 15 is Randy Ray Martinez. Randy Ray Martinez. Randy Ray Martinez.
That's a revocation plea, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
It's a revocation plea.
A revo. All right, Mr. Randy Ray Martinez, do you speak English?
Yes, sir.
All right, stand in line there with the others and I'll be right with you, okay? All right, Ms. Regalada, who do you have?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I have a plea on number 27 on the court's criminal docket.
27, Christian Alexis Adame.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is Christian Alexis Adame present?
I believe he is present, Judge. He's under.
Yes, sir.
Christian.
All right, perfect, Christian. All right, hang tight. Be ready to mute and unmute yourself, Mr. Adame, and I'll be right with you, okay? Be listening for your name, okay?
All right.
All right, perfect. Okay, who is left that I haven't called? Miss Evans, who do you have?
Judge, mine are both announcements. I have a female, number 10 and number 11 on the docket.
All right, number 10. Number 11, Lisa Finney.
Yes,
Right.
Judge.
And that's an announcement or is that a plea?
It's an announcement, Judge. This is one I had filed for a competency evaluation, Judge. I know I did speak to Mr. Heller. He did indicate that Dr. Pena had indicated that she was incompetent. I have not received those reports yet, Judge.
I just got it myself, Tracy. I'll be sitting with you shortly.
So once he gets the form signed over, Judge, that I'll agree that she's incompetent without a hearing, Judge, then we'll submit that to the court.
Okay. What, I guess, do I need to set a status in about 2 weeks to see or?
Judge, you can do that. I'll follow up to make sure that it's been signed, but once we filed that, the court should sign off on an order, basically committing her to the services to regain competency. And as long as the court signed off on that, it's just a matter of seeing when they're going to pick her up, Judge.
Okay, perfect. Let me do a status just to see where we're at on the 5th of April at 2 o'clock.
Yes, Judge.
All right.
We also have number 12.
Status, but we'll do it at 2 o'clock. All right, yes, number 12 is Abraham Guillermo Fuentes.
Yes, Judge. He is in custody, Judge. He was sentenced last week on Wednesday to 3 years TDC. This is an assault case. The victim is wanting to do an affidavit of non-prosecution. The only issue we have right now is that the appointment that was given to her from the DA's office is not until April the 28th, I believe. I don't know if the DA's office can do something to where she can do that prior. I'm afraid he's going to get taken up to TDC if we wait that long, Judge. State would be dismissing based on his pleas on the other case, Judge, but we do need her to do the affidavit, and she's available whenever the court would like her to do the testimony.
Vito?
I can check with our victims unit. They're the ones that set those up, Judge. They usually set the appointments depending on what appointments they have in front of them. Miss Evans, so he pled on CR 2270-21-H.
Yeah, there's actually 3 felony cases, and he pled on all 3 of them. 2 of them were motions to revoke, and one of them was out of the same transaction as this assault.
Okay, I was wondering if that had a pled or not. I was trying to see the record on much of the case earlier.
Yes.
Okay, so he's going to do 3 years TDCJ.
That is correct.
Okay. Judge, can we set this for Thursday? And that way I can look in to see, number one, if we can get her in to do the AMP quicker, or if there might be an alternative resolution to this case as well.
Sure. 324 at
Thank
2
you, Judge.
o'clock.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
You're excused. Thank you.
Thank you.
Richard, have I called your case already?
Afternoon, Judge. No, you haven't. I'm here on number 37 on the docket.
All right, that's CR 21087018, Juan Nino.
We're set for a plea today, Your Honor. I had the documents forwarded over to Mr. Chavana a little while ago.
All right, is Mr. Juan Felipe Nino present?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Nino, hang tight, stay on mute, but be ready to unmute yourself whenever your case is called, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I apologize for interrupting. I'm now recalling that Mr. Bazan indicated to me as part of the felony plea that he would dismiss 2 cases. And I want to say it's the cases that I signed him up on, but it completely slipped my mind. They are not in the judgment. I called the court. They have a notation that there would be a dismissal of 2 cases, but they didn't write down the cause numbers because they weren't able to hear the cause numbers when it was announced in court. And that was the day that we had court at Alamo Middle School. So we traveled over there to do this.
Okay.
And I would be derelict in pleading my client out on 2 cases that are supposed to be dismissed. When really, he ends up getting pled out. That would be wrong. So is there a very short time frame that this case can be reset? Because he is subject to being sent to TDC very soon, although the plea was just last week. So I'm assuming it takes probably at least a couple of weeks to send them up.
I can bring him back on Thursday.
I think that would be okay, Judge. It's just that Juan Bazan, the prosecutor I've been dealing with, is in trial. So I'll do my best. I've already sent him text messages. I've called the court.
Sure.
I just need him to communicate to Mr. Chavana that he
Why don't
wants
we
to
do this?
dismiss. And I want to say that they were going to dismiss the 2 new cases. And I'm not sure what's wrong with Mr. Chavana's video, but it's kind of weird. And they wanted to have him plead to the revocation. That's what I recall.
I'll give you, I think it's definitely appropriate for you to have the time to look into that. I'll give you Thursday in case you can get it done as quick as Thursday. If you need more time, we handle criminal docket on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so we would push it to the following Tuesday, and we hope he's still here without being sent up. So let's shoot for Thursday. If for whatever reason you need more time, just call us and we'll move it to Tuesday, I'm sorry.
Yes, Your Honor. Give me Thursday and then I'll see you. I'll let the court know if I need more time, but I'm pretty sure that'll be enough time.
All right, 324 at 2 o'clock. So Mr. Jose Luis Valadez, if you're in line there, you are excused until 324, which is Thursday. And we'll see you Thursday, okay?
And Your Honor, that paperwork,
Maybe it is, who knows?
I would ask that Mr. Chavana not yet file the paperwork.
Yes, Mr. Hold off on that paperwork, please.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
You're excused.
Have a good day.
All right. Jessica, were you able to get your client back on?
Yes, Your Honor, he is on. He's designated under iPhone. He has a blue shirt on.
Okay, and what is his name one more time?
His full name is Angel. I'm sorry about his middle. It's, I think, Jafet is his middle name, Ramos, or Jafet, Jafet. Last name Ramos, Your Honor.
Yeah. PTD placement, right?
Yes, it's a PTD POM.
PTD POM. All right, Mr. Ramos, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. I can hear you as well. If you could just be ready to mute and unmute yourself when I call your name, okay?
Okay.
Perfect. All right, Mr. Representative Munoz, who do you have?
Judge, I just have Mr. David Baldasso, Your Honor. He's in custody. Should be number 3, 4, and
5 and 6.
Yes, Judge.
All right. And is that going to be something we take care of today?
No, Your Honor, I think I just wanted to advise the court that we had been given a recommendation. My client rejected it. He wants to proceed further or forward to fight the case, Judge. So as of right now, that's what our announcement is regarding this case.
Okay. He's got several cases out of different transactions. He's got one, the oldest one goes back to 6/13. Those 2 out of the same transaction. It's an assault and a criminal mischief. I can give you our next trial date since he is in custody. No, on just those 2. We're going to proceed on because those are the same transaction. So we're going to proceed, Yuri and Vito, on number 5 and 6, as well as Mr. 5 and 6 is who we're going to proceed on, since those are out of the arrest date of June 13th of 2021. The next court date that I have puts us, let me see here. Would you be ready for April 4th, Rep?
That's fine, Judge.
All right, April 4th. So we'll see, docket call will be next Thursday, 3/31.
Judge, and can I just set the other 2 as well as a status? And then, I'll work again from now until next week if anything changes, but at least I can run those at the same time.
Judge, I don't think that would give us enough time to issue subpoenas.
Well, it's on the 4th. The docket call is only on the 31st.
Yeah.
Cutting it very close.
Well, do your best, guys, because the 4th is, and he's in jail. If it wasn't a jail case, I wouldn't care. Or if you all would agree on a PR bond, I wouldn't care. But I'm assuming you all aren't going to agree to a PR bond. So let's work diligently. Let's work hard. So 3/31 and 4/4.
3/31 at what time, Your Honor, on the docket call?
At 1:30, docket call 1:30. And then
Yes, sir.
trial on the merits would be on the 4th at 1:30. And then the other cases, they're not gonna be set for trial because they're out of different transactions. And those are just the newer cases. These are the older cases. So we're going to go on the older cases first, newer cases later. And we'll just put them for status on the same days.
All right, that's all I have, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes. Okay, no, I have some. Mr. Juan Alvarez, do you happen to have an announcement? I see you there.
I do, Your Honor. One Alvarez for Castillo, Jonathan Castillo.
Is that a jail or non-jail?
Non-jail, Your Honor.
Non-jail.
It should be a plea this morning, Judge. There was 4 cases. The only problem is, Judge, that he just came to office maybe about 30 minutes ago and signed the necessary plea documents. He works out of town. He was working in, I'm not going to tell you, Midland, and he was there in Midland. He moved to another state. I think it was in Washington, but he finally came down and signed it, but it was just 30 minutes ago.
Okay, is this something that you want me to set up for a later date or something that how do you want to?
However the court wants to handle it. Again, all I can tell the court, I just finished signing those documents on my end because he just signed his portion of it about 30 minutes ago.
Is he logged on?
He might be still.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Still.
You're under Miguel's Angel's iPhone?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Does the state have any objection? Does the state have any objection in proceeding?
No, Mr. Alvarez says that the documents are complete to get them to me as soon as possible. I have no issue. Continuing.
Okay, you okay with proceeding, Mr. Alvarez?
I'm perfectly fine in the interest of getting rid of this case, Judge.
Okay, so then are we proceeding on all 4 cases or are we proceeding on 2 or some or? just so I can know which ones to arraign him on, read him.
I don't have the recommendation, Your Honor. This is before I came to the court. I would need at least the documents or an email, something indicating what the recommendation was.
We're sending right now as we speak to you, Mr. Chaman, and this is of course what to call it in about 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Well, the thing is, I have a big set of pleas and I want to do them all together. Let's do this.
Gotcha.
Let me just reset this one for Thursday or next week. He's not in jail. I can ask him, Mr. Castillo, do you prefer Thursday or next Tuesday?
Thursday, Your Honor, because I just drove all last night from Chicago, and I only have a week here at max. So the quicker, the better, Your Honor.
Yeah, let's do Thursday.
Thursday's fine.
By then we'll have all the paperwork. So 3/24 at 2 o'clock, okay? 3/24
Yes, Your Honor.
at 2.
Okay, Your Honor.
All right,
Am I excused, Your Honor?
you're excused.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm gonna do one set of pleas, so I want to make sure I got everybody. Am I missing anyone? Did I not get someone? Did I miss someone? Skip someone? All right. If not, this is the order in which I will be calling cases. I'm going to start off with Erica Reyes Alanis in the Alpha section. Erica Reyes Alanis. You're going to be the first one to answer all of my questions, okay, Miss Alanis? So be ready to answer, okay?
This is a revocation, Your Honor.
It's a revo?
That's correct.
All right, Miss Alanis, not all the questions are going to apply to you. So if I skip you and I don't ask you a particular question, it's because your case is a revocation and the questions that I'm asking everybody else do not apply to you, okay? So it's not that I am intentionally skipping you, it's for that reason, okay?
Okay, sir.
All right, then I'm gonna move over to Javier Cruz. Can Javier Cruz, all right, stand right there, perfect. Then I'm gonna call Miguel Angel Garcia. Miguel Angel Garcia. There you go, perfect. Thank you, Sheriff, for putting them in that order for me. Next is Randy Ray Martinez. Great, perfect. That's a perfect order for me right there.
Your Honor,
I'm sorry?
Mr. Martinez will be a revocation as well.
One second, let me go back. Number 13 is Miguel Angel Sanchez Garcia. Did I skip him? Miguel Angel Sanchez Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, no, he's there. Perfect, thank you. Randy Ray Martinez.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Martinez, your case is also a revocation, all right? And because it's a revocation, not all the questions are going to apply to you, okay? So I may skip you on certain questions. Not that I'm intentionally skipping you. Very similar to Mrs. Alanis, the questions will not apply to you. There's only a few that don't apply to you. So if I skip you, it's for that reason and that reason alone, okay?
Yes, sir.
Next, I have Luis Gabriel Zamora. All right, and do all 4 of you gentlemen, do you all speak English?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Next, I'm going to move into the non-jails, and that's Christian Alexis Adame. Christian Alexis Adame, let me just check your microphone one more time. Christian?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Adame. I will need you to turn on your camera, please. Next, I have Juan Felipe Nino. I'm sorry. Jesus Riojas Lopez. Jesus Riojas Lopez.
Yes, Your Honor.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Followed by Juan Felipe Nino.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. And then I have Angel Ramos. Angel Ramos.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Ramos, you're going to be the last one to answer all of my questions. So please listen carefully. You'll be the last one to answer my questions. That is the order in which I'll be calling cases. Again, I will go back and ask, did I miss anyone? Did anyone not, did I not call somebody? I'm only going to do one set of pleas. I want to make sure I have everybody. I have a Crisoforo Trevino that just logged on. Crisoforo Trevino, who is?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Trevino, have you spoken to Mr. Jackson?
I just called his officer and he's not in yet.
Do we have any plea paperwork on this one, Mr. Heller or Mr. Chavana?
I did not see any, Your Honor.
Mr. Trevino, did you sign any plea paperwork with Mr. Jackson?
I have not signed anything yet, sir.
Then let me go ahead and just reset your case and we'll let Mr. Jackson know because I don't want you waiting for an announcement. Nothing's gonna change. All right?
Okay, okay,
I'm gonna set you up for next Thursday, the 31st.
okay, thank you.
All right, the 31st at 2 o'clock.
Okay. May I be dismissed?
You're excused. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
All right, can I have all of you whose names I previously called, please raise your right hand. I can have all of you please raise your right hand. Do each of you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I'm going to start with Erica Reyes Alanis.
Yes, sir.
Javier Cruz.
Yes, Judge.
Miguel Ángel Garcia.
Yes, Your Honor.
Randy Ray Martinez.
Yes, sir.
Luis Gabriel Zamora.
Yes, sir.
Christian Alexis Adame.
Yes, sir.
Jesus Riojas Lopez.
Yes, sir.
Juan Felipe Niño.
Yes, sir.
And Angel Ramos.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Y'all may lower your hands. We are here in CR 20-08738H, State of Texas versus Erica Reyes Alanis. Ma'am, is that your true and correct name?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Alanis, you're here before the court on a motion to revoke. The state is alleging in their motion to revoke that you violated certain conditions of your probation. Are you that same individual that is listed on that motion to revoke?
Yes, sir.
And Ms. Reyes Alanis, have you had enough time to confer with Ms. Arispe about the allegations in that motion to revoke?
Yes, sir.
And you're ready to proceed here today?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. In CR 21-13-529H, as well as CR 21-13-530H, and CR 21-11-159H, State of Texas versus Javier Cruz. Sir, is that your true and correct name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Cruz, you're here before the court charged with the offense of resisting arrest, search or transport, a Class A misdemeanor, possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 2, a Class B misdemeanor, and possession of marijuana, also a Class B misdemeanor. In just a minute, I'll explain to you the range of punishment for a Class A and Class B misdemeanor. Please hang tight. In CR 22-02730H, State of Texas versus Miguel Ángel Sánchez Garcia. Sir, is that your true and correct name?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, you're here before the court charged with the offense of possession of marijuana less than 2 ounces, a Class B misdemeanor. And in just a minute, I'll explain to you the range of punishment for a Class B misdemeanor.
Your Honor.
CR 19-06-599H, State of Texas versus Randy Ray Martinez. Sir, is that your true and correct name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Martinez, you're also here on a motion to revoke. The state is alleging that you violated certain conditions of your probation. Are you that same individual?
Yes, sir.
Have you had enough time to confer with Mr. Noel Gonzalez, your attorney, about that motion to revoke? And have you had enough time to review that motion to revoke with him?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready to proceed here today?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. In CR 22-00442H, State of Texas versus Luis Gabriel Zamora. Sir, is that your true and correct name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Zamora, you're here before the court charged with the offense of criminal mischief, a Class B misdemeanor. And in just a minute, I'll explain to you the range of punishment for a Class B misdemeanor. In CR 21-07735H, State of Texas versus Christian Alexis Adame. Sir, is that your true and correct name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Adame, you're here before the court charged with the offense of possession or use of an inhalant or a volatile chemical, a Class B misdemeanor. In just a minute, I'll explain to you the range of punishment for a Class B misdemeanor. In CR 21-09393H, State of Texas versus Jesus Riojas Lopez. Sir, is that your true and correct name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lopez, you're here before the court charged with the offense of possession of marijuana less than 2 ounces, a Class B misdemeanor. And in just a minute, I'll explain to you the range of punishment for a Class B misdemeanor.
Okay.
In CR 21-08701H, State of Texas versus Juan Felipe Niño. Sir, is that your true and correct name?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Niño, you're here before the court charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated with a BAC greater than a .15, that is a Class A misdemeanor. And in just a minute, I'll explain to you the range of punishment for a Class A misdemeanor. In CR 21-01-584H, State of Texas versus Angel Jafet Ramos. Sir, is that your true and correct name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ramos, you're here before the court charged with the offense of possession of marijuana less than 2 ounces, a Class B misdemeanor. Let me advise all of you that Class B misdemeanors carry a potential penalty of up to 6 months in the Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. Class A misdemeanors carry a potential penalty of up to 1 year in the Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Do each of you understand the range of punishment you can receive for either your Class A, your Class B, or in your case, Mr. Javier Cruz, your Class A and Class B misdemeanors? I'll start with Mr. Javier Cruz.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Miguel Angel Garcia.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Luis Gabriel Zamora.
Yes, sir.
Christian Alexis Adame.
Yes, sir.
Jesus Riojas Lopez.
Yes, sir.
Juan Felipe Niño.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Angel Ramos.
Yes, sir.
All of you have the right to an attorney and the right to a trial by jury, but you can waive one or both of those rights by signing a document. Did each of you have an opportunity to review a document with your attorney before you signed it? I'll start with Mr. Javier Cruz.
Yes, sir.
Miguel Angel Garcia.
Yes, Your Honor.
Luis Gabriel Zamora.
Yes, sir.
Christian Alexis Adame.
Yes, sir.
Jesus Lopez.
Yes, sir.
Juan Felipe Niño.
Yes, Your Honor.
Angel Ramos.
Yes, sir.
Did each of you understand that when you signed that document with your attorney, did you understand that you were waiving your right to a trial by jury? Did you understand that, Mr. Javier Cruz?
Yes, sir.
Miguel Angel Garcia.
Yes, sir.
Luis Gabriel Zamora.
Yes, sir.
Christian Alexis Adame.
Yes, sir.
Juan Felipe Niño.
Yes, Your Honor.
Jesus Riojas Lopez.
Yes, sir.
Angel Jafet Ramos.
Yes, sir.
Court's going to go ahead and accept your waiver of trial by jury. Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane? Ms. Erica Reyes Alanis.
No, sir.
Javier Cruz.
No, sir.
Miguel Angel Garcia.
No, sir.
Randy Ray Martinez.
No, sir.
Luis Gabriel Zamora.
No, sir.
Christian Alexis Adame.
No, sir.
Jesus Riojas Lopez.
No, sir.
Juan Felipe Niño.
No, Your Honor.
And Angel Ramos.
No, sir.
Counsel, in speaking with your clients, do you find them to be mentally competent, able to assist you in their own defense? We'll start with Ms. Arispe for Ms. Alanis.
She is, Your Honor.
Mr. Puente for Mr. Cruz.
Yes, he is, Your Honor.
Mr. McPherson for Mr. Garcia.
My client's competent.
Mr. Gonzalez for Mr. Martinez.
He's competent, Your Honor.
Mr. Eloy Garcia for Mr. Zamora.
Mr. Zamora is competent, Your Honor.
Ms. Regalado for Mr. Adame.
Mr. Adam is competent, Judge.
Ms. Galvan for Mr. Lopez.
Mr. Lopez is mentally competent, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez for Mr. Niño.
He's competent, Your Honor.
Ms. De Luna for Mr. Ramos.
Mr. Ramos is competent and has been able to assist in his case, Your Honor.
Court's going to go ahead and make a finding that all the defendants before the court, they're all able to assist their attorneys in their own defense. Do you each understand that if the punishment that I assess, if that punishment does not exceed what is recommended by the state, you will need this court's permission if you decide to file an appeal? Do you understand that, Ms. Erica Alanis?
Yes, sir.
Javier Cruz. Angel Garcia.
Yes, sir.
Randy Martinez.
Yes, sir.
Luis Zamora.
Yes, sir.
Christian Adame.
Yes, sir.
Jesus Lopez.
Yes, sir.
Juan Niño.
Yes, Your Honor.
Angel Ramos.
Yes, sir.
Do each of you understand that the court does not have to accept the recommendation of the state? Do Do you understand that, Ms. Erica Alanis?
Yes, Your Honor.
Javier Cruz,
Sir.
Miguel Angel Garcia,
Yes, Your Honor.
Randy Ray Martinez,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Luis Zamora,
Yes, sir.
Christian Adame,
Yes, sir.
Juan Nino,
Yes, Your Honor.
Jesus Lopez,
Yes, sir.
and Angel Ramos.
Yes, sir.
At this time, I must ask each of you, are you U.S. citizens? I'll start with Ms. Erica Reyes Alanis.
Yes, sir.
Javier Cruz,
Yes, sir.
Miguel Garcia.
No, sir.
Miguel Garcia, not a U.S. citizen, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. How about Randy Ray Martinez?
Yes, sir.
Luis Zamora,
Yes, sir.
Christian Adame,
Yes, sir.
Jesus Lopez,
Yes, sir.
Juan Felipe Nino,
Yes, Your Honor.
and Angel Ramos.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Miguel Angel Garcia, because you're not a U.S. citizen, your plea of guilty or no contest may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to this country, or the denial of naturalization under U.S. federal law. Do you understand those immigration consequences, Mr. Miguel Garcia?
Yes, sir.
Knowing and understanding those immigration consequences, do you still wish to go forward here with your plea?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Erica Reyes Alanis. The state in their motion to revoke is alleging that you violated certain conditions of your probation. Those have been laid out in the motion to revoke that you reviewed with Ms. Arispe. Are you asking that those violations be read aloud to you by the state, or do I hear a waiver? And Ms. Arispe, you may answer on her behalf as well.
Judge, we waive.
Thank you. Ms. Alanis, to violating the conditions that are set forth in the motion to revoke, how do you plead? True or not true that you violated those conditions of your probation?
True.
And are you pleading true to violating those conditions freely and voluntarily, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Javier Cruz, to the offense of resisting arrest, search, or transport, a Class A misdemeanor, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
To the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 2A, less than 2 ounces, a Class B misdemeanor, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
To the offense of possession of marijuana, a Class B misdemeanor, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty to these 3 offenses freely and voluntarily, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. In CR 22-02-730H, Miguel Angel Sanchez Garcia, to the offense of possession of marijuana less than 2 ounces, a Class B misdemeanor, sir, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
In CR 19-06-599H, Randy Ray Martinez. Mr. Martinez, the state is alleging in the motion to revoke that you violated certain conditions of your probation. Those were laid out in the motion to revoke that were reviewed by Mr. Gonzalez and yourself earlier. Are you asking that those motions to revoke, those violations on the motion to revoke be read aloud to you, or do I hear a waiver? And Mr. Gonzalez, you may answer on his behalf.
Your Honor, we've gone over the violations and we waived the reading.
All right, thank you. Mr. Randy Ray Martinez, to violating those conditions set forth in the motion to revoke, how do you plead? True or not true that you violated those conditions?
True, sir.
Are you pleading true, freely, and voluntarily, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. In CR 22-00442H, State of Texas versus Luis Gabriel Zamora, to the offense of criminal mischief, a Class B misdemeanor, sir, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. In CR 21-07-735H, Christian Alexis Adame, to the offense of possession of or use of an inhalant or a volatile chemical, a Class B misdemeanor, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. In CR 21-09-393H, Jesus Riojas Lopez. Sir, how do you, to the offense of possession of marijuana less than 2 ounces, a Class B misdemeanor, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. In CR 21-08-701H, Juan Felipe Nino, to the offense of driving while intoxicated with a BAC greater than a .15, a Class A misdemeanor, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. In CR 21-01-584H, Angel Hafat Ramos to the offense of possession of marijuana less than 2 ounces, a Class B misdemeanor, sir. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily, sir?
Yes, sir.
Court's going to go ahead and make a finding that all the defendants before the court have entered their pleas of true, pleas of guilty freely and voluntarily, and I'll call for state's evidence at this time.
In the pleas, states offer plea documents and offense reports as states Exhibit 1, notification and certification of defendant's right of appeal as states Exhibit 2, waiver of Article 39.14 disclosures as states Exhibit 3, waiver of risk and needs assessment as states Exhibit 4, PTD POM packet as states Exhibit 5. State would also request defense counsel stipulates that venue and jurisdiction of this honorable court. In the motions to revoke, the state offers waiver of rights, consent to stipulation of evidence, and plea of true to state's motion to revoke post-conviction community supervision as states Exhibit 1. The state also requests defendant stipulate that he or she is the same defendant who was previously placed on probation.
All right, Ms. Arispe, for your client, any objections?
Judge, no objections, so agreed and stipulated.
Mr. Puente, for your client.
Same announcement, Your Honor.
Mr. McPherson, for your client.
There's no objection and we so stipulate.
Mr. Gonzalez, for your client.
No objections and so stipulated, Judge.
Mr. Eloy Garcia, for your client.
No objections, Your Honor, so agreed to and stipulated.
All right, Ms. Regalado, for your client.
Same announcement, Your Honor.
Ms. Galvan, for your client.
No objections, we agree and stipulate.
Mr. Richard Gonzalez, for your client.
Same announcement, Your Honor.
Ms. De Luna, for your client.
No objection, Your Honor, and so stipulated.
Thank you. There being no objection, state's exhibits are all hereby admitted. In CR 20-08-738H, State of Texas versus Erica Reyes Alanis, it is a judgment of the court that you're guilty as charged. I'm sorry. It is a judgment of the court that you violated your conditions of your probation. Your probation is hereby set aside, revoked. What is the recommendation?
State recommends a $100 fine, court costs 122 days, Hidalgo County Jail, credit for 122 days.
For Ms. Alanis, it'll be a 0 fine, 0 court costs, 122 days, credit for 122 days, time served. Good luck to you, Ms. Alanis.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
You're excused. All right, in CR 21-13-529H, CR 21-13-530H, in CR 21-11-159H, State of Texas versus Javier Cruz, it is a judgment of the court that you're guilty as charged. What is the recommendation on all 3 cases?
Your Honor, in CR 21-13-530-H and in CR 21-1-1159-H, the state recommends a $100 fine, court costs 90 days, Hidalgo County Jail, probated for 9 months, a drug education course, and 20 community service hours. And the recommendation is identical for those 2 cases. In CR 21-13-529-H, the state recommends a $100 fine, court costs 90 days, Hidalgo County Jail, probated for 9 months, an anger management course, and 20 community service hours.
Questions or requests on behalf of your client, Mr. Puente?
Any consideration towards the cumulative amount of community service hours that he has?
All right, Mr. Cruz, are you working, Mr. Cruz?
Yes,
Or were
sir.
you working before you got arrested?
Yes, sir.
What do you do, sir?
Construction.
Construction, okay. And you plan on going back to construction?
Yes, sir.
A lot of houses being built out there?
Huh?
You build houses or do you build?
Yeah, built houses, framing.
Framing. All right. Court's gonna go ahead and waive the community service hours on all 3 cases since you're gainfully employed, okay? I'm also going to waive the court cost in one of the cases that from the arrest date of 11/24. So we're gonna waive the fine and court costs on CR 21-13-529. That's to waive the fine, waive the court costs. The other in CR 21-13-530H, as well as CR 21-11-159H, I'll give him 90 days to pay the fine and 90 days to pay the court costs. These 3 cases will run concurrent, one with the other. There will be 1 supervisory fee. We do need a phone number from you, Mr. Cruz.
956 460 4033.
Thank you. Our probation intake department will call you in about 5 business days.
All right, you're going to be reporting to probation.
All right.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
In CR 22-02-730H, Miguel Angel Garcia. It is a judgment of the court that you're guilty as charged. What is the recommendation?
It recommends a $100 fine, court costs 10 days, Hidalgo County Jail, credit for 10 days.
In this case, it'll be a 0 fine, 0 court cost, 10 days credit for 10 days, time served for Mr. Miguel Garcia. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Can I be excused?
You're excused, Mr. McPherson. Thank you.
Thank you.
In CR 19-06-599H, State of Texas versus Randy Ray Martinez, it is a judgment and finding of the court that Mr. Martinez has violated the conditions of his probation. His probation is hereby revoked, set aside. What is the recommendation in this case?
It recommends a $100 fine, court costs 180 days, Hidalgo County Jail, credit for 180 days.
All right, this will be a 0 fine, 0 court cost, 180 days credit for 180 days, time served. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Judge, may I be excused?
You're excused. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez.
Thank you, sir. Nice seeing you, Judge.
Likewise. In CR 22-00442H, Luis Gabriel Zamora, it is a judgment of the court that you're guilty as charged. What is the recommendation?
It recommends a $100 fine, court costs 37 days, Hidalgo County Jail, credit for 37 days.
This case will be a 0 fine, 0 court cost, 37 days credit for 37 days, time served. Good luck to you, Mr. Luis Zamora.
Thank you, Your Honor.
In
Thank you,
CR
Judge.
20 thank you. In CR 21-07-735H, Christian Alexis Adame, it is a judgment of the court that you're guilty as charged. What is the recommendation?
State recommends a $100 fine, court costs 60 days, Hidalgo County Jail, probated for 6 months, a drug education course, and 20 community service hours.
Questions or requests, Ms. Regalado?
We have nothing further, Judge. We would just ask the court approve the agreement.
All right, the court will go ahead and approve the agreement. I'll give him 90 days to pay the fine, 90 days to pay the court costs. We do need a phone number from you, Mr. Adame.
956-780-2002.
Thank you. Our intake department will call you in about 5 business days.
All right, you're excused. Thank you so much.
Have a nice afternoon.
You too. In CR 21-09393H, State of Texas versus Jesus Riojas Lopez, it is a judgment of the court that you're guilty as charged. What is the recommendation?
State recommends a $150 fine, court costs 4 months deferred adjudication, a drug education course, and 10 community service hours.
Did you say $150 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Questions or requests, Ms. Galvan?
No, Your Honor, we just ask that you follow the recommendation.
I will give him 90 days to pay the court cost. Mr. Lopez, the court cost would have been due and owing today, but I'll give you 90 days in which to pay that, okay?
Okay.
We do need a phone number from you.
956-538-8320.
Our intake department will call you in about 5 business days.
Alrighty.
All right, thank you so much.
May I be excused, Honor?
Yes, you're excused. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honor.
In
Honor.
Thank you. In CR 21-08-701H, State of Texas versus Juan Felipe Nino, it is the judgment of the court that you're guilty as charged. What is the recommendation?
State recommends a $250 fine, court costs 1 year, Hidalgo County Jail, probated for 10 months, a mobile alcohol monitoring device, alcohol course, 90 days Texas driver license suspension, and 20 community service hours.
How many CSR?
20, Your Honor.
20 CSR. Questions or requests, Mr. Gonzalez?
Judge, I would just ask that he has some time to pay the fine and court cost and that the driver's license suspension run concurrent with the state suspension.
I'll give him 90 days in which to pay the fine, 90 days to pay the court costs. Mr. Nino, the court costs would have been due today. I'll give you 90 days in which to pay it. I am going to run the 90-day Texas driver's license suspension concurrent with the administrative suspension. All right, run CC with administrative suspension. Are you working at this time, Mr. Nino?
No, I'm really gonna start Monday.
You're going to start Monday. What do you do?
Yes, sir.
Construction? Do you have minor children? Do you support any minor children? Mr. Nino, can you hear me?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
No children.
All right. Thank you, sir. We do need a phone number from you.
956-609-1856.
Thank you. Our intake department will call you in about 5 business days.
Thank you. Can I be excused?
Yes, you may.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. 14-3, last one, right? Here we go. CR 21-01-584H, State of Texas versus Angel Jafet Ramos. It is a judgment of the court that you're guilty as charged. Mr. Ramos, you're asking to be placed in the pretrial diversion program for the possession of marijuana charge. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
This is a contract that you're entering into with the state of Texas. You're agreeing to comply with certain conditions of the pretrial diversion program, and in exchange, the state is agreeing to dismiss the charges against you in a period of 60 days. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, they're going to require that you do certain things. Is there any reason why you cannot comply with those conditions that they're requesting, that the state is requesting?
Yes, sir.
There's no reason why you can?
Oh, no reason.
Okay. Now, they're going to drug test you before you come back in 6 months. I'm sorry, in 60 days. You understand that?
Yes, I understand that.
Okay.
Yes, I understand that.
All right. We're going to see each other again on May the 19th at 9:30 to determine how you did, okay?
Okay, sir.
Remember that date, May 19th at 9:30. We do need a phone number from you.
956-416-2311.
Thank you. Our intake department will contact you in about 5 business days.
I be excused?
You're excused. You and Ms. Luna are both excused.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, Judge.
Thank you. All right, Sheriff, you may have a few remaining. Want to help you with dates on reset dates?
Yes, Your Honor, I have 3.
Okay, go ahead.
Espinosa, Ivan.
On that one, we're going to go ahead and reset that one to Thursday, Sheriff.
Yes, Your Honor.
3/24
Okay.
at 2 o'clock.
I have 2 more. Lozano Jesus.
Jesus Lozano, dismissal was signed.
Yes, Your Honor. And Villarreal Joshua, Your Honor.
That one was also reset for this Thursday.
Yes, Your Honor. No, that was there, Your Honor.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a good day.
You too. All right, that takes care of our docket, I think. Yep. Takes care of our criminal docket for this afternoon.